Welcome back to the National Hurricane Center here in Miami, Florida. This is Ken Graham. We're live right here in our operations area. The time is 1:12 Central Time. Let's get the latest information on Tropical Storm Nicholas. Latest winds, we've got Stacy back behind me here, keeping an eye on the latest. He's the one writing the forecast on the day shift here. We got Dan looking at some other areas, so I'll make sure to show some other areas. Got some requests on Facebook, so thanks for the feedback. I'll show you the bigger picture of the tropical weather outlook, other places that we're looking at. But for Nicholas, 40-mile-per-hour winds. We've got right now about 30 miles southeast of Houston. That's about 60 miles southwest of Port Arthur, Texas. So that's where we are. But I definitely wanted to show the satellite. We were talking right before going live, just trying to explain this tail of moisture back behind it. So here's the center of the storm right here. I'll go ahead and refine that a little bit. But you can see just the fetch of tropical moisture. So it's just so important not to just focus just on that center point. It's not just Texas going on here. We've got the rain in Louisiana, the Mississippi coast, Alabama, and even eventually the Florida panhandle. But you see this large fetch of moisture in this tail that will move with the storm. So as the storm moves slowly towards the east, this tail will as well. So you can see why some areas are going to see some of this heavy torrential rainfall, making it absolutely a dangerous situation, life-threatening situation associated with this rain. So if you peer into the clouds and look from our ground sensors, radars really can look at where this rain is falling. You can see the center that we've just talked about back in here, but that's that tail. That's that tail of moisture that keeps streaming up, where you see not just the heavy rain, but the potential of getting some of that tornado activity and waterspout activity as well. There have been reports of some funnel clouds in some of these areas. And look at these tropical showers. Any one of those could produce tornadoes, but look at the torrential rainfall. Here's one in particular here headed for the Mississippi Gulf Coast. So it's not just Texas, not just Louisiana. Look how far away this stretches, and even inland as well. Not just the coast, but even portions of Natchez, getting up to Jackson, Tallulah, into Mississippi. Some of these areas are going to see some of that heavy tropical rain. Here's the latest forecast that we've just put out here. A couple things to look at. Not much change in the philosophy. You still have some of those tropical storm force winds stretching out from the center. So most of that is on the north and also the east side of the storm. But look how slowly we move. So here we are right now, 1 p.m. Central Time, and with time so slowly. We're at this location right here, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then with time, this is 7 a.m. Thursday. So think about it, from now through Thursday morning, that's all we're moving. It's not very much. So as a result, that's why we're going to see some of these big time issues associated with the rainfall and also that flooding. We're just not moving fast enough. So really trying to look into it and look at some of the values that we're talking about. This is the brand new graphic, the Weather Prediction Center, keeping an eye on the rainfall predictions, doing such a great job to be able to get this information out. So look how far we stretch. This is the 6 to 10 inch area. I'm talking the Florida panhandle, Mobile, back through the Mississippi Gulf Coast, southeast Louisiana, all the way back towards portions of central Louisiana. That's just a large area, some of that heavier rain. Now, when I say that, 6 to 10 inches, remember, wherever that tail stretches, wherever those heavy bands stretch, where you get that big feed, some areas could get 15 inches, maybe 20 inches of rain before it's all said and done, because it starts piling up in some of these areas. Always tough to tell exactly where that's going to be. That's why you have to be ready. You have to be ready for to be able to take cover and really stay off those roads when you get those warnings from the National Weather Service forecast offices. So listen for those warnings, have a way to get those warnings, because that's just a dangerous amount of rainfall. The other product that it's worth really looking at here is Weather Prediction Center looks at potential areas, the areas that have a probability of getting that flash flooding. And the pink here is the moderate area. And it's just Beaumont, Port Arthur, even in the high risk here. I want to highlight this. This is important. A high risk is the highest risk that they have of getting that flash flooding. So Lake Charles, looking into Beaumont, Port Arthur, Orange, these areas could see some of that heavy rain. But not just that, even up to Jackson, all the way up through portions like Monroe, got a chance of some of this flooding, because it's not just on the coast, but it stretches inland. So pretty significant amount here, and I wanted to show it real quick. We're gonna look through some of the rest of it today, and also looking at tomorrow. Remember, as the storm moves, it's usually right ahead in those rain bands. That's the potential for getting tornadoes. So you could get those water spouts, you could get some of those tornadoes as well. Brand new update on the storm surge, brand new graphic. Still seeing some of that onshore flow, and that's keeping the water in there, pushing some of the water. So High Island to Cameron, 2 to 4 feet in some of these areas right on the coastline. But not only that, it kind of sneaks into areas like Sabine Lake, where you could get 1 to 3 feet, and Calcasieu Lake 1 to 3 feet as well. So still the water's high, so be careful while traveling. Just an incredibly dangerous situation. I will show a couple things here. That's why we still have, in Jefferson County, still have that storm surge warning. Really watching out for this. But by request, I know everybody's been talking about this, not just Nicholas, but we're watching a couple other areas in the Atlantic. One of them here I'll highlight, 60% chance of formation the next 5 days. So folks in the Carolinas really got to keep an eye out for this as we start looking at where this is going to go with time. But we're also watching this system that came off of Africa, looking pretty good on satellite, pretty strong. This one's got a 90% probability of development. So a couple other areas we're watching as we are right now in the peak of hurricane season. So we're going to keep watching this for you and keep you the latest information. But in the meantime, please stay safe. Life-threatening situation associated with this rainfall, parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and also Alabama, maybe even the Florida Panhandle by it's all said and done. Listen for those warnings and have a safe place. This has been Ken Graham live at the National Hurricane Center.